Greetings, Femian world. I am Richard,
And I am Gary.
and together we are rocking
Pandora's
Box.
box.
Woo! We love
Woohoo!
you back. We got it right, Gary.
We did, but I bet because we both did it at the same time, Zoom will put it at different points again. Because it thinks we're singing, doesn't it? So when you sing on Zoom, that will always
Uh-huh.
put stuff out. So we were actually spot on then,
We
Seb.
were spot on, and it took us what, 18,
No,
19,
19,
20 episodes.
19 episodes. God, we're good.
It's so good to see you, Gare.
And you,
How are
and you.
you?
I'm good, thank you, buddy. How are you?
I am great. Did you have a beautiful week?
I did. I met some new people, had a really lovely meal with a friend, and uh, with the lovely Mel, and we've been sort of house sitting, and I also did a show
Yes.
with Sonia from Tree of Knowledge, which was really really nice. And I've been following for Sonia for over 4.5 years now, 4 years plus, and I actually got to have a sit down and a chat with her, and we're going to be doing a monthly show. So that's brilliant. So that's that for me personally. That's like a woohoo
Oh, I'm
jump
so
dance,
happy. Yes. Which that?
that dance. So yeah, no, that was awesome, and that was an amazing show. And she's very much like you, Richard. She's clairvoyant, she's seer, and she's got so much knowledge. And just like you and me, we bounce off each other. We have the same kind of energy, and it's just
Okay.
lovely. So
I'll be looking forward to watching the video. I'm so sorry I didn't watch the video, my brother, because I adore you. You know, this, like you, we have no time to watch really what's going on. Like, I have no idea what's going on in the world right now. All I do is like, it's like, I meditate and then I look, like on a metaphysical realm of things.
yeah,
So I'm very proud of you and I love your story because I think like what you're saying about Miss Sonia is like how I felt at the time with my honey
oh
golden,
yes, yeah,
right?
exactly the same.
So
Yeah, it's the
we're
same thing. It
yeah,
Sonia to me is your honey.
yeah. I love it. Yay.
Yay,
So
superb, superb.
Femi, go do visit Gary's channel and watch his interview or his conversation with Miss Sonia. I know that I will be doing it right after this recording.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. No, it's been great. And also, I have gained a few extra subs. So for all the new subs that will hopefully be watching this as well, because it'll be a new show for them, welcome aboard and thank you very
Yes.
much, guys. Much appreciated.
Yay. We love
We
you.
do. The beautiful
So
Femi.
the beautiful Femi, and talking about the Femi, if I might,
Yes,
do you give me permission, my
of course,
Gary?
of course.
Uh,
We must always show our gratitude for the amazing Femi and for those ones that just go above and beyond sometimes. But you're all amazing, all of you. Equally, you're all absolutely stunning. So there you go, Richard.
and sexy and beautiful and truth loving and sponsored by Gaia. But with this, I need to give a special shout out to a sister, Christine from Los Angeles. Whew, you started a painting for me. Dan, you had contacted me for reading. It was mind blowing, the session. Oh, baby, I saw so much around you and so much came sense and so much healing came. But then I got in the mail, and this, she started in my Christine, a painting for me before our Zoom session, a one-on-one reading. And I got it this week. It is this beautiful water dragon,
Wow.
and she made it thinking of me. And she had a song on
Turn
loop
it
in
up
her head.
90 degrees because we want the head. The
90?
head's that's that way. That's it. Because we can see
Okay.
the head better now. It
Yeah,
looks,
I don't have my glasses on,
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah, yeah. So we can see the head now. It looks like it's kissing you, Richard.
well, it is he is kissing my fingers right now, and he's Actually, I'm kissing my fingers. So, unbeknownst to Christine, she tapped into a water dragon, and the water dragon, once I received it, and I tapped into higher self, inner flame. So, you actually tapped into one of my soul elements, my soul aspect, which is dragon, and this one is water dragon. Christine, I love it so much, and I love you forever and beyond. I will put it right there under Farrah Fawcett. For every single other videos, here, the water dragon will be. Thank you! Yay!
Superb. Beautiful piece of artwork as well. Beautiful. Beautiful.
So, Gary, what are we talking about today?
Well, today we're going to be talking about Inner Earth, but also, Femi, I've done a little. Richard asked me to do a little slideshow so we could show stuff. And while we were talking, we both got our pendulums out, and something very, very interesting happened, didn't it? Bit mind blowing, to be fair. And so when we get to the point, because we're going to keep you on suspenders, as Richard would say, we like a suspender. We'll then let you know this, what's we've discovered, literally 30 seconds before coming on, and it's really quite a mind bender and quite interesting at the same time. So we're going to talk about Inner Earth and the concepts of, and my take on it, Richard's take on it, and then we're gonna kind of blow it all out of the water. And
I love it.
And we're gonna explain why. So how can I put it? None of us are wrong, but we're not right either. So so do you want me to start talking about my research back in the day, or would you just like to go straight to the slideshow, get the slideshow out of the way, and then see where we go from there?
Well, I think that we should start with a slideshow, brother.
Yeah.
You know, because it'll give a visual to la famille.
Yeah.
Yes.
And again, this is a first, and I have to shout out to my eldest son who actually taught me how to do this because I was doing it wrong and couldn't get it to work before. So I've had staff training by my son. So hopefully this will work.
Okay. Yes.
There we go. So hopefully
all right,
the beautiful Femi can see an Inner Earth picture. Can you see that, Richard?
I can see it, my brother. All right, so shall I go?
You go.
Okay. So Femi, you know, Gary had asked me, what do you want to talk about for the next episode of Rocking Pandora's Box? So right away, I knew it has to be with Inner Earth, you know, because I find that it's a beautiful lockup of all our past shows coming together. You know, we talked about the Titans, the Titanesses, and I did see right away Inner Earth, because Inner Earth is a thing that is greatly misunderstood. And so I meditated on that after. And this is the visuals that I got coming back from my meditation and asking intelligence to do me a drafting of what I saw. So how I saw Inner Earth. Okay, so we have right there, we would be living on the crust. Now the crust, okay, so I mean, like, there's so much more, but I'm talking about Inner Earth, not out of Earth. So I'm not talking about the dome, I'm not talking about the firmament, I'm talking about where we reside and what's going within it. So this is what I was showed, okay? We have a lot of beings that are inside, going towards the center. What is the center? So we would have Gaia or crystal. There would be that inner sun that is there. Gaia and the inner sun are two different things I was showed. Gaia is actually she she lives within the crystal. She is, but she can actually leave and walk around and swim at will. But the inner sun would be something that would represent almost like her frequency. So that inner sun inside of inner earth would be like more a plasmatoid. It's plasma, it's a frequency. It is bright. To some, it could be like white blue. It's not warm, it's not hot. It is more like a frequency, like a song, like a sound. It is plasma. So that would be like not Gaia herself in the crystal, but like her energy aspect to it. All right, so I love this, right? And then I was asking because I wanted to know. I wanted to know. We've all heard about reptilians and they live under the crust. So I'm asking higher self, inner flame, show me what it looks like. And, you know, because of my knowledge of horror movies of the past, I brought in The Descent and Chud, cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers. And I'm asking, is there truth to all this of like these reptilian hybrids that live either in tunnels or underground? And I got a big fat yes. But these movies, which I did, because of course I'll have the DVDs, Chud right here, okay? So these would have been like mutations living under New York City experiments. And then you have The Descent 1 and 2. They all are similar, but they are different fractals. And this is what would live under the Earth's crust. Now, what I got, I'm going to start with them and then go back to the inner sun. So what I got is two different things. For what resembles as Chud, cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers, I got that they would have been experiments done by Anunnaki, okay? And those experiments were either abandoned, forgotten, and those experiments when dwelling underground in major cities. You can think about New York, yes, because it's a very populated, there's a lot of energy. I cited Montreal where I live, Toronto, Tokyo, everything place that has a major hub of energy and activity, they would be there. Now, are they cannibalistic? Not in the way that we see it. They don't consume flesh. Yes, they are deformed. Yes, they were experiments and forgotten. And yes, blind, of course, because they live underground. But what I got is that they were more cannibalistic in the loose kind of energy, right? Like the spiritual adrenochrome kind of energy. So they reside under a very busy city or like New York, whatever. And they feed off the energy. So whenever there is warring, there is a red flag, that's what they feed upon. So there is that. So this movie was dramatically exaggerated on something that was very true. I'll leave it at that. Now, let's talk about The Descent. This is another story. This could have been humans in an older era that had to go underground, and they do live like very at the surface. So where you could have like, you could think of a groundhog going into a hole, going underneath. This is where they would reside, these ones. And these ones are actually flesh eaters. It was plain to me because they are more feral. They are blind. They got great ear sight, very much like this movie. But then, yeah, and they would consume even their own. It's all about survival. It's like they don't have any aspect of spirituality or anything connected to source creation energy. They are the forgotten, they are the feral, they are the rabid. So there's that. So both of these movies, because I had to understand, I want the truth about these movies because I know there's truth about them. It's underground. So what I was shown is that these two movies were created. Whether you think they are good or not, it's irrelevant. But it was created in order to create that fear porn aspect of going within, right? Don't go digging up too much into the tunnels. It's dangerous. You'll get eaten. Don't go digging too much into your psyche. It's dangerous. There's a monster. So both movies have truth, highly exaggerated, but these are flesh eaters, but they were created as a psyop to stop. Like, look at the bigger picture. The bigger picture is don't go soul searching too deep. That would be like the metaphysical way of looking at going into a tunnel. You'll have claustrophobia. You'll get lost. There's a monster. All right, so there's that. So then I went even. Did you have a question for me?
No, superb. That's great. Yeah.
Okay. So then I went even deeper, and then I wanted to know about like elementals. And so this is what I was shown, and this is what this beautiful, because I asked, okay, like intelligence, I want an easy imagery for people to understand. I don't want it complicated. Me, myself, I don't do well with complication. Like, I freak out. So this is what they brought to me. So we had the reptilians at the right under the crust right there. Side by side, a little lower, we would go with the elementals right here. The elementals would be residing on what we can see inner world, what we'd see outer world of a fifth, sixth dimension. These ones are beautiful, and they do not respond or work with anything that would be mechanical or artificial, right? They work with everything that is connected to like natural form, to like spirit. So they are great beings. So we're talking about gnomes. We're talking about the fair elementals. That would be them. And right under, we can see that it is the mycelium paths. So what is the mycelium paths? I saw that this was like almost like the veins of Gaia going within into inner earth. It is organic. It is very natural. It could be seen like a mushroom network. And that's where the elementals go, because they don't take an elevator that's made of metal, right? It's not that. They go with the natural energy of the life force of Gaia. So that's what the mycelium paths are. Now, if we go on the opposite side, I saw star seeds. All right, so star seeds, we all think about like off-world energy, but I saw that we had star seeds inner Earth, and what I saw also is that they had a position there to keep a frequency as what we see as an off-world benevolent star seed being, but within inner Earth, helping with the inner sun and the crust. They had a mission there. Beautiful is what I saw. Now, going to the center, I got the crystalline core. Crystalline core, what I was shown is almost like a network, like Wi-Fi, okay, made of crystals. And this Wi-Fi that is in connection with the inner sun is to help what is happening outside of the crust. So therefore, again, if we'd have a red flag or we'd have war ring, what would happen is that the crystalline core would get dampened, maybe go into, is it a lockdown? Almost like a very low vibration in order to protect itself, okay? So that one is very important, that crystalline core. Then we have the crystalline cities. So that is exactly just that. I saw cities, and in those cities made of crystalline beauties, it could almost be like what we'd figure out to or wrap our head around as in the Akashic records, and the star seeds and everyone would be working with this. Okay, so that would be like a great Very important network, these cities. Then we have that inner sun, which I explained, the plasma, the frequency of Gaia's like original core. Then we got the frequency locks. And with this drawing, because I had to ask, and what exactly do you mean is a frequency law? And it was amazing what I got. Huh? It's like with all these levels going within inner Earth, we have a frequency loss. Okay, so that could be almost like a lock, a key, a doorway. If you would show up benevolent with the right frequency, that the inner sun would hear that tonality, you can get unlocked. If you come from like under the crust as a reptilian, then it would feel, scan your frequency, and then it would tighten even tighter the lock so you could not enter, right? And I was shown sometimes, often, we'd have imagery that would come. Often, many of you, my family, might have had this in your dream state, but I was shown very clearly at the frequency locks. What would emerge is a lion, a golden snake, or a sigil. So that's how I saw it all working. I found it very, very fascinating. And why the reptilians are under the crust is because they would be at a lower density, right? So like the lower you are, the more primal you are, and the higher you go, the more enlightened you go. So as above, so below, looking at the crust, we're doing it reverse underneath. So reptilians, and then we're going down to the inner sun. And then I saw there was water. So for those of you who have been listening to me when I speak like in such ways, I don't feel that there's like oxygen or whatever, and like it's like plasma water, like jello water in outer space. And I was shown, because I was asking, how does it work after the inner sun? Because I don't believe that the world is flat. I don't believe that it's round. It's a mix of everything with a tutorial field. So how does it work if we do have indeed an inner world, an inner sun? What's beyond it? I know it's not Tokyo because Tokyo is up here. So I was shown it is water, plasma water, like how I see outer space. All right, so I'm amazed by that. So, what is this water exactly? Do we have entry? Can we get to that? That's where that frequency um, lock would be, right? Well, it's not for the water, but that energy, the frequency lock, this is where like everything that's what I was shown. Like everything that was birthed comes from source, comes from these waters, like these birthing waters. And I saw like, ooh, massive gods that had never come into being yet, that could breathe one breath in a millennium, that reside there. I saw like the wells in these waters are amazing. It is the bluest of blues with a gold undercurrent. And I saw the well energy there. And I always saw that wells came from the space, the off-world energy. And so that made sense to me. And then I saw dolphins. And how did I register to the dolphins? They would bring like the frequency of the wells, of the water, coming back up to deliver that sound to the children, to the artists. Birth. So that absolutely like blew my mind. So then after I asked intelligence, make me a drawing, and I wanted simple. And I think this is like beautifully like shown. And I think I've been talking for a long time.
And again, the reason why we're sharing the screen, Femi, is because for Richard to just explain that without some kind of descriptive visual reference would be very difficult.
Well,
So,
yes.
so beautiful, beautiful. Now, you with my research and stuff I've done,
Uh-huh.
I'm slightly different but very similar. So I concur with what Richard's saying, but I've never looked into it at any particular depth because I never had the drive to for some reason. And I don't know why, but I've never really looked into this particularly deeply. But
Actually, Gary, I just pressed gallery because I thought I would be able to have you big and still have the visuals, but now they're gone, the visuals. What should I do?
just go back again. But
Oh,
on
it
what
did.
I'm,
Okay.
yeah, but what I'm recording won't make any difference. It's only on your screen that changes.
Yeah, but I want to see your pictures again. They're gone. Okay. I don't know what to do. I can't see the images you're going to put.
Hopefully they are working still. So you can't see any of the images.
Well, no, because I went on gallery view.
Change it.
Uh, center stage. No. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Now I'm moving all over the place. Oh, shoot. Speaker view? No.
No, it'll be the other one.
Well, gallery view, yes, but okay. I can't see your imagery.
Ooh, that's a
I don't
shame.
know if it's just me or if I screwed
Well, what
something
what I
up.
think I'll do is I'll stop the share.
And do it again.
Yeah, so just in case it's not working, because technology. So can you see us both as normal now?
Yes.
Right. So what I'll do is I'll share screen
I'm
again.
so sorry about that.
No, 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 because
Okay, it's back. It's back.
back.
Yes. Yeah.
Superb.
Yay!
Superb. That's brilliant. Well, it might not have been working for the FEME, you see, and that's the problem. So I could have been talking about something that the FEME can't see, even though I can see it on my screen. So
Yes.
hate technology, you know I do. Okay. So I am never ever in ever going to be able to say the word, but this is a underground city in Turkey. And Turkey has at least, I think, 60 underground cities that still remain where you can actually look at them. And here we have in the bottom left-hand corner for me a kind of map of the city. And at the top we have some of the carved out from the bedrock what it would have looked like inside.
That's gorgeous.
It's amazing.
I want to live there.
And at key points within the city, there were these round blocks, and they would have been rolled across to stop invaders or animals coming in. And this
Imagine
one,
how heavy that is.
well, it's half a ton,
Hmm.
so massively heavy. And they're in the entrances to many of these underground cities. So I didn't look at Middle Earth as such, but I did look at the underground cities and the fact that humans used to live under them. And
Yes.
the reason why humans lived there, predominantly, I think, is because the creatures above ground were so large and dangerous that this was the only way that you could be safe from attack and protect your children, elderly, and your family. So this is another look at some of the hallways. Now this had 18 levels of tunnels, so it was 18 levels deep, and it went more than 85 meters underground. That's a huge amount. But what's so amazing about this place, Darren Kuyu, it's Darren Kuyu, isn't it? Something like that. What's so amazing about Darren Kuyu is the fact that they had freshwater wells and
Hmm.
airflow. So even when everything was sealed up, they had fresh air and a consistent temperature and water available to them. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Well, can you go back a second? I am just no back the other way. To yeah, no, the other way.
What to you?
No, back.
That's as far as it goes. These
No, back to that. Stop.
yeah.
I'm amazed. Okay, I look at this. I see thousands of faces all over these rocks. Family, pay attention. Like it is crazy. Like one phase, two phase, three phase, four
Like
phases.
here.
Yes, and even in the background, you know, like where the big light is, like follow the arrow, go down that hallway to the wall. At the end, go. No, the other way. Yes,
Oh yeah, an
look at
eye,
the eyes, the nose,
nose,
the mouth looking
mouth,
down.
chin.
Like they're everywhere. Do you
Yes, they
see
are.
them?
Yes.
I mean, like even on the floor, like I see thousands of faces. Simulation. Okay, sorry, I
No,
wanted
no,
to go
beautiful.
back to
No,
that.
no, no, absolutely. And what we have is 600 entrances to this underground city, and some were in basements. I think it was originally found when some people brought like a house and they were
Okay.
doing renovations in their basement,
Hmm.
and they literally knocked the wall down and there was the entrance to this place.
Crazy.
And that's how they found it. So absolutely amazing that this kind of building is underground. Okay. So this isn't inner earth, but it shows that in history, people lived under the
Yeah.
ground and at far, far more people than we understand and far deeper. And if there's 60 others like this, at least in Turkey alone, how many were there around the realm before some of the resets?
Well, yes, and how many have not even been discovered right now? And you
Hundreds.
go deeper, deeper, they're still around.
They are. They certainly are. So
Uh,
really fascinating. So here we have a map, a classic map of the inner Earth.
mhm.
And at the top here we have it says where Admiral Byrd flew in, I think in 1947, and it shows the world being round, and inside a round world, um, a central sun and continents. Now, whether this is round or it's actually a flat disc, and we're looking like a plate, and we're looking over the front of a plate, I don't know, but certainly this is the classic view of inner Earth, and there would have been an entrance in potentially um, North Pole and then in Antarctica.
Mhm.
Okay, now Admiral Byrd was meant to have gone into inner Earth. Um, I'm still not certain if he did or didn't. Um, but from my research, it was likely if inner Earth existed that he went in and was showing something by the people in Antarctica that he met. Now, this gentleman here is Admiral Byrd, and this is the famous Longines Chronicle talk when Admiral Byrd spoke about Antarctica. And it was shortly after his television interview on the Longines Chronicle,
Mhm.
and that can be found on YouTube. I again just it's Longines as in watch Chronicles, and the Admiral Byrd, and shortly after this, he was actually meant to be going back to Antarctica. He the mission was pulled, and he mysteriously died because he
Well,
said
he does look very frail, like
he he said too much during the show, and he talked about all sorts of things, including all the rare minerals in Antarctica and lands beyond the dome. So he really did, you know, um, very interesting. But they have a flat Earth map as the clock behind them, which is quite interesting. But that I just wanted so that you know to show the Femi that this exists and it's really worth having a little search up of that. Now, fundamentally, what Admiral Byrd was talking about was this is Antarctica, goes all the way round. This is the North Pole, and he's talking about a land beyond Antarctica.
Beyond the dome.
beyond the dome. Now, whether this is correct or not, I don't know. And obviously, I know nobody that's ever been there, done it, or seen it, and it's only via remote viewing or pendulums or cards you could get any kind of answer. And again, is it correct? Isn't it? I don't know. But I just wanted to show the FME what Admiral Byrd would have been talking
Oh
about,
yeah.
because Admiral Byrd is obviously spoken about going into inner Earth. You know, so did he go into inner Earth or did he go to outer Earth?
Hmm.
I'm just putting questions out there. I don't know. This is another map that suggests that there's far more land beyond Antarctica. So this is the North Pole. This huge continent here is Africa, and it is that big. This is Australia, which is that shape and that big. And then we have the Americas, and Europe and such like. So, or Asia here. And what we're seeing here is lands beyond again. Now, whether this is fantasy from what Admiral Byrd said or it's in reality, again, I don't know, but I just want to show the audience the
Oh,
options of what's
okay.
available, because if we're going to do a slideshow, you've got to show, I believe, all aspects, and I'm not going to show a globe Earth because everyone's seen a globe Earth, we know what that looks like. Um, Now, this is something that I resonate far more to, and this is the dome, and the stars are a holographic projection, an energy source
Hmm.
that sit upon the dome, with the wandering stars, as in the planets, being energies that move around, and when they change their frequency, has an effect on us. And that's how astrology and human design works. So Mars would be in retrograde and it would have an effect on the body or what could be happening around the world, um, and all that kind of stuff. So, but fundamentally, the stars are a projection on top of a toroidal field or a dome or firmament. But we see it as a half shape, but nature isn't like that. And a toroidal field doesn't work in halves.
That's right. Yeah.
So you're only seeing half of what you should be seeing in this diagram. And we also see that the stars will go below what we can see. But do
Yeah.
the stars then go round the bottom completely as well? And do they have a different star system that we sometimes see? We share stars from above and below, as above, so below.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, this is our
I
heart.
love that picture.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it.
This is our heart, and I want to talk about toroidal fields. And the easiest way is for us to talk about our heart center. And our heart creates a toroidal field around us. And we actually have three toroidal fields. We have the inner body toroidal field from the heart. We have an external toroidal field that goes out a short way from the body. And then we have a bigger toroidal field that goes out. And this goes out around 6 feet at least. And we can communicate subconsciously via the information coming off the toroidal field that goes into the heart, but will also go up through the head and into the subconscious, because we're all one. But I just wanted to show the FME a toroidal field in the heart matter and how it is. And so if we take that previous slide, what we were actually looking at, if this was on its side, was the above dome here with the stars. And so there must be something below, because this is a toroidal field.
Mhm.
And so it must be balanced. And what we have is the energetic or the electromagneticness of the dome battery. And so as you go higher, you get more positive energy, and the ground is the negative. It's the earth, earthing.
Mhm.
but it's not a semi shape as we saw by the heart. It must be a circle. And this is what we actually see. This is a
That's
toroidal.
beautiful. I love that.
That's beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful.
Yeah, that's up my alley.
Yeah. And we have a toroidal field. And from my research, is this toroidal field of consciousness, we actually sit, if you turn this 90 degrees, and I didn't because I like it how it looks this way, to be fair.
Yeah.
But if you take this center line here,
Mhm.
this is the flat inertial plane of the toroidal field in which we live. Now we assume that we are standing on something that's ground, and up is up and down is down, but actually in real terms, we're standing here and we look up to the heavens here. So this toroidal field is actually correct. Now, if you look at that, you go, oh no, everyone's going to fall down to the bottom. But that's not how it
No,
works, because it's a
no.
toroidal field of energy and consciousness. And so there is no up, down, backwards or forwards. But what
Mm.
we do get with this toroidal field, with the flat inertial plane where we live, is there will be like a sandwich. So we live on the top part of the sandwich. Inner Earth is the filling, and on the other side where the sandwich is a representation of, or something that's very likely to be almost identical to what we live on the right hand side to the left hand side.
Again, as above, so below the mirrored aspect. Yes,
Correct,
yes, yes.
correct, correct. So I hope the Femi understands that. So what I've actually done is I've turned the toroidal field 90 degrees here. And the colours here are a representation of the electromagnetic forces and energies within the toroidal field.
Hmm.
And where we are is in this little bit here. And the round toroidal field is the centre part. And in the centre of that is the flat toroidal field of us where we live,
The singularity.
the singularity. As above, so below. And we have this massive energy coming off and going around, and it all folds in and comes back upon itself. In this picture, you just can't quite see it because it's a cut through. But the little round ball in the middle is the toroidal field of consciousness in which we live, with the energy on the outside giving us this perfect balanced ecosystem.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could call it those botanical globes. I forget what they're called now. A snow globe almost.
Yes.
It's a snow globe of energy.
Yes.
And so we live in this flat inertial plane inside, but we're sandwiched between the top layer, inner Earth, and the bottom layer.
But when we say we live there, like what I'm getting from a higher self is our what we know as our conscience is there.
Our consciences is there,
It's
yes.
the conscience. That's
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So we have the perception of reality and an organic system, but in actual fact, our consciousnesses inside this energy field
Yes.
allows atomic matter, atoms, protons, photons, ions, which Sonia talks about. She calls them all ions, and I think that's wonderful. What we expect to see, the ions will create for us. And so the realm we live in is an expectation created realm of a reality that we see as being a real tangible thing. But actually,
Mm.
all that's inside there is our consciousnesses
Yeah.
creating this reality, which is why we call it a toroidal field of the collective consciousness. And I
The
hope
Taurus.
a torus field,
Yeah.
absolutely, it's all the same. And I hope I haven't left too many people behind on that one. But what Richard,
Well, I think You explained it really well. It's just it's a lot like of verbiage maybe that many do. It's new to them,
Yeah,
but no, the more that we do these videos, because we're getting somewhere, and all of this, we're in a simulation. It's an organic simulation.
yeah,
So like understanding that like helps all about the tutorial field and how
yes.
it really works. When you make, I believe, brother. Oh, we're done with the slides.
Yeah,
I'll put
yeah,
you back
yeah,
on gallery.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We're back.
Okay. It helps us to be to surrender maybe to something, right? Surrendering is not weak, it's actually very strong. That reality is not what we once thought it was.
Yeah,
It's actually bigger. The reality that we were like taught to believe as we learned was a very limited. And the way that we're showing, hopefully expanding your questioning in your minds,
yeah.
it's so much bigger, and that's where infinity is. There is no death.
But the
the what?
infinity. Sorry to interrupt you, Richard. The infinity
Yes, of
symbol is the
course.
8, and it's a toroidal
Yes,
field in its own self.
it is.
It loops,
Yes.
and in the center part of that toroidal field
Uh-huh.
of the infinity is where we live again.
There we go. I love it.
It's like there's a reason why I've got the Flammarion background, and I've always had it.
The what?
My
Oh,
background,
that.
yeah,
Yes, yes,
right.
yes, yes.
It shows the sun and the moon and the stars inside a dome, but it also shows us that we have the ability to get out into the
Yes.
outer realms of what is.
Yes, getting out of martial law, because that's what it was all. And that's what I saw in my meditation, right? Because I do have a beautiful, wow, sentient, powerful being that had come for a channeling that at the end of the show, I will recite to you, and she's absolutely astonishing. But this is what it is, right? Like getting out of martial law, like there were
Freedom.
reasons. The martial law was not all like serious. It was also like a mix of benevolence. So like it's a bigger story. Maybe we can do a future show on this. But like the dome. Why was the dome created? Well, yes, to lock up, to imprison, but maybe it was also to imprison the virus within, so it's got
Yes.
two. Uh-huh.
And again, it's this dome, this toroidal field of consciousness is a frequency.
Mm-hmm.
And only when your frequency matches that dome would you then be able to pass through it,
I love it. Yes.
which is exactly the same what Richard was saying about inner earth. Some of those
And
beings are stuck at a certain level and layer. They can't go up and they can't go down because their frequency doesn't match and they're not able to do it. The macro and the micro, everything is a reflection of itself.
and that's how bigger the universe is really once we comprehend that we are all absolutely safe. It's just that we question our being, our origin, like what we are and truly are. And so, we get worried, we get lost in panic, insecurity, create loose for the underground humanoid dwellers that feed upon it. But truth be told, and have we not? I've seen some documents of pieces of the dome that were found,
Blue glass.
and they were crystalline, like the waters I sent underneath the inner sun that relates to the elixir of life in Antarctica, the same color, and then it's on the dome.
Yeah. It has a very high
Ta-da!
oxygen, has a very high
Yeah.
oxygen content, almost an unbelievable high oxygen content, and is cold to the touch, is my understanding
Yes.
of it.
Yes, it's not hot.
No, no.
No, 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 no.
So now we've blown the viewer's mind. Shall we
Mhm.
blow their minds again with what we
Yes,
discovered with our pendulum and Mr. The Admiral Byrd,
I would love that.
and how we, because we set the teaser up to start with, didn't we? And so you know, now, as you guys know, I've been doing research for several years, quite a few years, and I probably first came across Admiral Byrd maybe 9 years ago. I mean, between 10 and not 8 years ago. So I'll say 9 years. I can't remember. Time
Mhm.
flies, and I looked at Admiral Byrd, and the operations that he did, and what he was looking at or doing in Antarctica. And the reason I looked at, or Admiral Byrd came up, was at the time I was looking at the Antarctican Treaty.
Oh,
So
yes,
during the middle of a war, all the
I
countries that are
remember.
fighting each other sat down at a table and signed a treaty to protect penguins.
Hell,
Yeah. So again, one thing of research leads to another thing, leads to another thing, leads to another thing always. And so Admiral Byrd came up, and I watched the Longines Chronicle. Now I have to confess, I haven't watched Longines Chronicle now for about 5, 6 years. So I did
Mhm.
look at it again 5 or 6 years ago, but it was only because it happened to come on. I thought, oh, I remember that, and I'll watch it again. Do you know what I mean? So to try and remember something in detail of 8, 9 years ago is very difficult, and I will get stuff wrong because you'll watch it and go, no, Gary, he said it wrong. The memory is a strange thing, and again, it was something that I looked at and then moved on from. Now, the key points that I remember from Admiral Byrd's chat and research that I did was that they were flying across Antarctica looking for the edge of the dome. You know, they were trying to do what this giant is doing in the corner and get out. Because there was a realization and understanding that we're inside a dome or toroidal field even back then. And what happened was some of the planes could see lands beyond, but could not see the dome. And these planes actually ploughed into the dome and pancaked into it. And by
Yeah,
doing this, they lost several planes, people died, but they were able to understand the curvature and where the dome finished in Antarctica. Now, what they also did was Admiral Byrd came across cities that were our side of the dome that were ice free, green, lush, and warm,
and round.
that do not fit what we've ever been told about Antarctica. And on one particular flight, he was caught in a tractor beam. We know it's a tractor beam through modern tech, modern sci-fi. In Star Wars, when the
Star
Millennium
Trek.
Falcon gets caught, it's a tractor beam. Well, at the time, all he expressed was that the controls went solid. Across the radio, he was told to let go of the controls, and he would be guided in. And if they grabbed hold of the controls or did anything, they would be destroyed. So he sat there like a very good boy, and they actually remote control flew a very old aeroplane, propellered aeroplane in them days, down into an airfield or a base where he met some beings, some people
Hmm.
who were blonde hair, blue eyed, white skinned, and very tall, very big. And it's likely from that point that he was, I mean, he says, I don't know if he did it once, twice, or what, but it's likely that he was then taken in at some point, at that point, into the inner earth. Now, whether he flew in his own aircraft or he was taken in, I don't know. But that's the story. Afterwards, he then was tractor beamed out to a safe area where he could then fly back to the aircraft carrier and land his aircraft. And he went back to the United States after this, and the United States government
Ah,
panicked.
I know, I see it.
And what they did is they sent the biggest naval flotilla since World War II up to Antarctic to deal with these people in Antarctica. Okay. I can't tell you what year that was, but probably around 47, 50-ish, 56. I don't know. I can't remember. But if you
Mm.
do your own research, guys, you can find this out. So he took this massive flotilla of ships up to Antarctica or to a certain area in Antarctica. Because remember, Antarctica's a ring. So it may have been down, it was actually down towards Argentina. So South America was where they went. And they went there to engage these people that he'd spoken to because they were a threat to national security.
Blip, blap, bloop.
And the story goes that while they were there, and they'd only been there a short while, I think it was a 6 month deployment, and they were only there for 3 months. And they turned tail and they fled for their lives. The reason being is a craft came out from underneath the sea and with a beam cut a destroyer in half and sunk it like that.
Mm.
So the Admiral Byrd turned the entirety of the fleet of the US Navy around and they fled and they docked in Bolivia. And there's an interview and notes on his Bolivian interview where they're still in shock and they spoke about a craft coming up and splitting a ship in half and sinking it and they fled for their lives, you know. So this is the research I did 8 or 9 years ago. And I'm going to get my pendulum out. So the pendulum's moving backwards and forwards, so it's happy to work with me. And if it goes clockwise, it's a yes, and if it goes anti-clockwise, it's a no.
Someone's at the door. I'll be right back. Do
No
this.
problem, no problem. So with my pendulum, when it swings backwards and forwards like this, it just means it's ready to engage with me. It's happy, all's good. Okay. On Richard's, backwards and forwards is yes, and side to side is a no. On me, side to side is it will not answer. Okay. Or it's not prepared to give me an answer. Okay. So I get yes, no, and won't answer. But also with the fact that it swings, when it swings right out and often hit my arm, that's 100% yes. And if I only get a small swing, it's a percentage from 0 to 100%, and I can work out exactly how accurate I am being with my questions. And if I need to change the question, or I'm kind of on the right lines, which is quite interesting. So while Richard is signing autographs, as he does every Sunday, I'll ask a question. Pendulum, was I correct in my analysis of my research of 9 years ago when I did this? And you can see, and it's actually just hit my arm. So that's a big yes. Okay. So my research is correct. From my memory and research, did Admiral Byrd go into inner Earth with these beings? And that's a no. Because on my research, I never remember him going into inner Earth. I know he had a conflab with these people, but the story is he went into inner Earth. But I never found that information factually that I read. It was always said by people that he went into inner Earth. Okay. So, did Admiral Byrd meet we'll call them the Aryan race, just for simplicity, blonde-haired, blue-eyed. Did Admiral Byrd meet these people in Antarctica? That's going to hit my arm, so that's a big yes. Big yes. Very interesting. Now, when Richard gets back, we're going to ask Richard, or Richard's going to ask the same questions because he looked into this very recently.
I'm back.
How many autographs did you have to sign?
No autographs, but blip blap blue.
So I've just told the Femi about my research and Admiral Byrd, and my research is that he didn't go into inner Earth. I've heard that he did, but I never found that on my research.
Yes.
The ship getting cut in half. Just double check. Was a destroyer cut in half by a craft coming up out of the
I got
sea?
a yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is correct. Okay. Now, Richard, would you like to get your pendulum out
Yes,
and
of course. I
see
got
what
him right here. Already.
see, see what answers you get? So for you,
Already. Listen to our Gargar, our beautiful brother. Do you want
so
to rock and
for
roll with Gargar?
yes, he
Yes.
does.
Let's go.
So from Richard's perspective only, please, with the pendulum, from what he saw, did Admiral Byrd fly and get stopped via a tractor beam and taken down into the realm where the Aryans were?
Yes, he went in inner world.
That wasn't the question.
Oh,
Did Admiral Byrd go to the inner world with Richard's today being shown? Inner Earth.
well, like I'm not even asking a question. Like I'm literally. Hold on. Think we're going.
So so Richard's higher self, did Admiral Byrd go into inner Earth during one of his times?
Yes.
I get a no.
Well, I get a yes.
But we know why. This is mad. Okay. Um and obviously um did the craft come up from the sea and cut the ship in half?
I get a yes with that. Yeah, it's a yes.
Yeah, and did they scoot off to Bolivia and did he tell the story which was later then redacted by the Navy?
So we're already like searching data. Um,
That's a no now,
that's
isn't it?
not a well, it's not a yes, it's not a no. It's there's missing information.
Right. Now my pendulum on the Bolivia thing that I just said, um, did that happen as I say?
And you get a yes.
Big yes.
Yeah. See, now I'm even slowing down to almost a nothing right now.
Now for me.
That's different. Yeah.
Now for me. Normally Richard and I are very, very much in sync with our pendulums.
Yes.
Almost exclusively so, which is why we work so well together, because we have the same kind of we pull off the same kind of energy. Okay. My research was done 9 years ago. Richard's research was done today, yesterday.
Yeah, it's like it's brand new. I know nothing about any of this. I went into meditation. Yeah.
So I clearly got a no, and Richard was getting a yes on his pendulum,
Hmm.
or vice versa. And that didn't make sense to either of us.
Unless,
And then we asked the question,
uh-huh.
was Richard wrong? And we got a no. I then asked the question, was I wrong? And I got a no.
No. So
So we were
therefore,
both right, but the pendulums were giving us different answers. The pendulum's agreeing. Two different realities.
Two different timelines, babies.
Now, what we're saying is the research I did 8 years ago was totally correct for the reality in which I was at the point doing the research.
Yes.
And I am 100% correct in the research I did 8, 9 years ago.
Yes.
But
Right? Aurélien, is that true? Oh, you need to swing it like a rock star. So he is true. So what that means is that this is what we have to comprehend, my babies. Like if you watch my latest ascension symptom video on breathlessness and heart flares, this is what I'm calling that we're bringing in all different timelines back to the singularity, which is us. And this is what's happening. Gary had studied a truth 10 years ago that happened on a different timeline. What I tapped into this morning is a different timeline, which is the accurate timeline for all the singularity to come crashing back home. All aspects are coming back home. Is that accurate, Aurélien? Is that all you're going to give me? Just a little yes?
well, let's see what mine says. So, was Richard correct in what he said regarding the timeline and that I'm getting a
Oh,
big
that's a yes. That's a
huge
big
yes.
yes.
Yeah.
But my Aurélien right now, I don't know what's are you bored with the question?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
he's
because we've
bored with the question.
it's the second time that we've asked this with the same pendulum.
Ah!
And
I never asked my if he was bored. Oh my god, I had no idea they could get bored. Oh, I love you.
But for me,
Like that would have been like him flicking his leg while you're talking,
yeah,
cross legs, like, oh yeah.
whatever. I've already told you the answer. Why are you wasting my time asking the same question again? I've given you the answer already. Richard's higher self, sometimes the Femi want to see these things because we work and again, so just before we came on air,
Yes.
we had this madness of Jesus. My memory and research was correct at the time, but it's no longer correct because the timeline we're in now, which has probably got more data inside it now, is slightly different. And Admiral Byrd didn't go into Inner Earth with me, but he said he did for Richard.
Yes.
Timeline now.
Yes.
And this is the Mandela effect.
It is.
Showing itself with the higher self. And that is a mind bender for me. So we all know about the Monopoly man having the monocle, and now he doesn't. We know about
Or the heart.
Yeah, the
Being
fruit
on
of
the
the
left,
loom.
now at
Yeah,
the center. I
The
pledge
kidneys.
my league.
Yeah, kidneys have now moved up because when I was younger, you couldn't punch somebody in the lower back because of a kidney
Or the
punch.
skeleton. The head skeleton used to have hollow like holes. That's why you'd have like visions of pirates and the snake coming through the eyeball. Now there's a wall.
Yeah.
How does a snake go through that? Like, I'd like to know.
Yeah. But in Fruit of the Loom, I can remember cornucopia.
Yeah.
A basket with the fruit. That never was. And I even watched Star Wars again a couple of days ago.
So you found a new one?
No, the original 77 Star Wars.
Okay.
Yeah. And C3PO on the opening scene has
the
shiniest silver bottom part of a leg
you've
ever seen. And he never, ever, he was all gold. And he's always been all gold. And that was total bunkum as far as I'm concerned.
Well, it is. It's bullshit. It's like, but it has
reality.
Place.
This reality where we are is different to our memories. But also, because I was being truthful, and when I did my research, that was correct.
It was correct.
My pendulum showed that I was right and being correct.
Yes.
But Richard's pendulum showed he was right and correct because he'd just done it. And the difference in time meant there's two different realities running at the same time on the same subject.
Or it's a callback of all back, timelines coming crashing back home to the singularity and being made aware of the other realities. That's what is going to wake us up from the simulation. I think that's
Yeah.
we're both right, but there's a reason why we remember the Mandela effect. There's a reason why this, because it forces us to something's off.
Question.
Wake up, Richard.
Yeah.
Wake up, Gary. There's something that's unusual here, right? I love it.
But that is one of that actually made my brain go, oh my God.
Blue.
Yeah, it did.
I know.
I was like, I was like, can't be. So even our higher selves with different experiences and memories can sometimes give different results on the pendulum, and it doesn't mean we're wrong. We're both right. And that's the crazy thing. Even though we got two different answers, we're both right from our perspective of what's it called? It's our perspective. Because my experience of life and living through it was correct, and Richard's just lived through it and his experience is correct.
And both of them serve for a reason as a catalyst to wake up from the dream. Because how do you wake up if you don't question?
Yep.
You won't.
No. Now I'm sure we're missing something quite big and quite important with the fact that the pendulum did something different, but I ain't got a clue yet. I haven't got a clue, but I think there's a reason more so than the Mandela effect. I think there could be another reason for this, but I'm
the
not quite
Mandela
sure
effect,
what.
I think, is just like an energy that's going on with the awakening and all the timelines coming crashing into in order for us to have the great awakening. I don't think the Mandela effect is anything more but that, really. It's to be made aware. Wow, like our reality is so much more beyond that what we thought. We are born, we have children, we die, and maybe we reincarnate. It depends on religious indoctrination or not, or spiritual growth. It's so much more, right? Like the tutorial field, right? It's going, it's always perceiving, we're just remembering. So I think the Mandela effect is a tool.
Do you know what I just got?
What?
It's a symbolic symbol of the fluidness of the reality in which we live in.
Yes, different timelines.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's fluid dynamics, and it's the fluidness of the information flow and what's going on. So we must remember that nothing's fixed and everything is fluid and everything can change.
Yes, and nothing and everything is real all at once.
Bingo! Which goes back to the double slit experiment. Pendulums have just kind of proven that the double slit experiment is correct. I knew I was missing something, and that's it. So brilliant. Yeah.
Oh, your colors just came back on.
Yeah.
You got a tan now. Yeah. So you know what was funny also is as I was going into Inner Earth, you know what I saw that was living there? The mammoth.
Really?
The saber tooth. The great, big, massive octopus that people fear.
Yeah, the Kraken.
Yeah. And you know what I got? Sabertooth is highly psychic and a protector. He's not the monster. He's a protector of the light. The Kraken, like you call, That is memory. It's not a monster. Oh boy, that energy, that big octopus, We're going like into underwaters again. And it is a protector. See, it's funny, they put everything as a monster.
Yeah.
Everything.
It's the inversion of everything, isn't it? See, one of the things I learned fairly quickly, when I first started doing my research,
Mhm.
the first one, which took me a very long time to get my head round, and I mean a
Okay.
long time,
Mhm.
was everything I've ever been taught or told by authority is a lie or an inversion.
A lie. It's all a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you start looking at the inversions of. So bad people are often good people, and good people are often bad people.
Yeah.
If that's they're being portrayed in history in that way, you know, and because we know history is written by the victors, the person that lost doesn't ever get their opinion stuck in the history book.
Yes.
And also what we get is Mandela effects on history, as well as victors rewriting the history of the history to make themselves look even better.
Yes. Yes.
And so to truly be at peace and understand that one is a very difficult one, Femi. Trust me, you know, because you then realize that your entire life,
Yeah, but you got to surrender to it and accept it, and
yes, you
then
do.
you're out of traffic. It's
Yes,
green light.
it's free. It's actually freedom of the mind.
Yes, it's not weakness
No,
surrendering.
no, no, no.
No.
No, this particular one is freedom of the mind. Because once you
Free
understand,
your mind, then the rest will follow. Woo!
that's nice. That's a song, isn't it?
It is.
Who
I'm a
sung that?
metalhead, but I remember that
Yeah,
one
yeah,
from.
yeah, yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
Girl band of some sort, weren't it?
Well, it was. I don't remember. Yeah, I think Beyonce was in there at the time, but I remember this. Like we're going back to the
Yeah,
'90s. I
yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah. Christina
Yeah.
Aguilera would have been in that as well then.
No, 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 no.
Sure.
It was no. She was in. But they all had good songs, at the time. These things, for a lack of a better word.
These karaoke
Yeah,
singers. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. These
yeah.
karaoke
Uh,
singers. Um, yeah. So it's the surrender to the acceptance of this that then allows you to start looking at new things in a critical way, a new way, and understanding the official version and hunting for the alternative version. And often somewhere in the middle is a grain of truth. And as one,
Sovereignty.
yeah, yeah, and as once you get practiced at this, because it doesn't happen overnight. You know what I mean? If you can imagine when you first start now. I don't wish to insult anybody, beautiful Femi, but when you first wake up and realize something's wrong, you're a toddler and you can't walk and you can't run. And the more
Mm.
research you do and the more you expand your mind into looking at different things, the better and more practiced you get at it, and the more likely you are to be correct more times than not in the research you do. And the longer you do it, you can then start cross-referencing things you've learnt before that make sense to what you saw. Because often you'll look at something and think, I have got no idea what that means.
And therefore, you trust yourself more and you trust your higher self by doing this experiment. This, like, workout. It's a workout
Yeah, it's a mental workout. Yeah,
every day.
yeah. And then you get to the stage where I am now, where you realize you know absolutely nothing and you're still the toddler.
Oh,
And
you're funny. You know a lot of stuff.
yeah, but the more I learn, the more I realize how little I know still, because there's
But
so
that's
much
how you
more.
know a lot, because now you're realizing that, like, what you thought about General Byrd 10 years ago, like, you're not like blocking the conversation.
No,
You go, like, okay, this could be like another timeline. You've evolved. So you do know something more than you did yesterday. So I
Absolutely.
just want to regroup you because what do you say? You like it's almost like a humble way to say like I'm humble, but yes, you're humble, you're real, you're genuine, but no, you know a lot. And in realizing when you say you think you know nothing, that's where you know the truth. So you know even more, right?
Because that's part of the mind's psyche to understanding and stay grounded in the center of the infinity eight. Because while you're
Yes.
sat there in the middle, you can observe both sides. I keep saying it, observe, do not absorb. So we
Mm.
observe the energies, we observe the things going on. We do the research and we observe the research. Do we? I just started pouring down with rain. Um, do we? It's been really hot in the UK. Oh, sticky hot, horrible. So
Unusual, huh?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So when we look at research, all we're doing is observing something. And when we read an official book, we're observing something. And so we then go back into one's self. And as Richard what puts it so brilliantly, does your gut agree? Do you feel it? Does it resonate with you?
Because it's never going to lie to you.
And at that
Never.
point, you start to get some kind of truth. Might just have to close the window a second because I'm going to get some. Oh, is that?
Yes, go close, go
Yeah, yeah,
close.
yeah, yeah.
So, like for me, like what Gary is saying is very true because I've been also doing this for a very long time, but I've been using it in watching movies, right? It's like I am here to observe, not to absorb. Because has been, like, I've been aware of this for years now. Like, how many years? Six, maybe. I don't want to watch a movie, but I've always been very made aware of the incantation of the soul harvesting through the adrenochrome of emotions of what movies do. And because I grew up as a cinephile, I loved movies. And that's what I would do, It's like I'm here to observe, not to absorb. So I can look at the movie and not give it that energy because that there's a lot. It's so hard. So if you look at horror movie, it harvests your fear, but they also plant into you, like what they want to create, which they have lost. Okay, we're at the end game now, but that's like Independence Day. I bring that one back a lot. Like ET's coming home and destroying. That was a program. So by watching it, you can watch it as entertainment and as a documentary to how they portrayed entertainment. I am here to observe, not to absorb. Because when you absorb it and you leave with the frantic terror that ETs are going to come to destroy us, not like ET from the 80s, like ET phone home, that's a Mandela effect.
ET phone
And
home.
then it was ET home phone.
No
That's a
way.
Mandela effect too, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's so
I ain't
like,
having that.
I mean, I saw the movie like 100 times. Like, give me a break.
I went to
Blow
the
me.
cinema
Come
and saw
on.
it. I went to the cinema and saw it
Hey,
as a
come
kid.
on now. Hey. Yeah. So then at the end,
Yeah.
you're back. I was entertaining while you were closing your window, like when my door is
Yeah, yeah.
always knocking. They're
Well,
not for autographs. Sometimes
yeah, yeah.
it
Always,
has
always.
happened, though. It has happened.
Really?
Oh,
You're such a
those are
slut.
other stories that I would rather not
Oh.
share. Yeah. I'm not here to bring that energy there, but it
Yeah,
has happened where people have crossed the limit.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Cross the line.
But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I deal with it all. And I love them all. Um,
So
Oh, and there's one, because I'm a psychic, there's one that did show up. I'm not talking about you. Your name starts with a C, and you were not that energy. Because now I know your mind. You're gonna go like, is he talking about me? No, it's not about you, C. Okay. I fucking love you. Okay, good. But there's others that it has happened. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Where do you want to go now?
Well, I think we've kind of hit a natural crescendo of a finish. So,
I
um,
have an incantation.
I know you do. I know you
Uh-huh.
do. Um, I'm aware that it's probably been the second show in a row where you haven't pulled cards, but I don't know if there's
Oh
anything,
yes, no
you
cards. I
know,
love
and
cards.
so and I know the Femi absolutely love the card read. So, how about a general reading for the Femi for the week ahead and what we can expect, and just share a little bit of love towards the Femi. What do you think?
I just have oversoul and universe. Please tell me everything I need to see, everything I need to know for a glorious, beautiful, golden familia. Tell me everything I need to see. Oh, we're ready. Let's cut. Let's rock and roll. All right, are you ready? Come to me. First in line. All right, so we got an off-world. Well, it's a generosity card where the meek will inherit the earth. All right, so there is something in the background that's always already working in order to help humanity. And then we do have where we tame the beast by the mouth. Major arcana. Okay, there's the infinity symbol that we were talking earlier on our earlier conversation. But we got the meek will inherit the earth. Generosity has already yesterday been planned for humanity, where we tame the beast by the mouth. Then we got in a time where we're juggling left, right, yay, nay, up, down, what direction? So we got generosity coming in order to tame the beast by the mouth while we are juggling between thoughts, systems, changes, two dimensions, alternative realities. In the now moment, we are moving out of troubled waters with the Seven of Swords. So grabbing all that stress, moving to like flat, smooth waters. Heartbeat. We've been uncomfortable for a very long period of time, my beautiful family. But with this, the hangman, again, under the strength. So major arcana, underneath major arcana, it's the heartbeat. Ba-bam, ba-bam. We are awakening. We got the halo. We recognize we are awakening. We are seeing different timelines coming back, awakening, coming out of a slumber. Then next in line, we're crossing a portal. The Two of Wands. We're making plans, holding the world in our hands, looking through a dimension there where we want to coexist. Now, for the future, although there will be a lot of sadness because this is a lot of spilled wine, milk, coffee, water. It is a gloomy card, but not all hope is lost. It is a 5. It is temporary. This is a lot of people that are departing right now. Then we do have the creator, loud, proud, and online. Not only are we talking about source, the creator, it's every single one of us that is resonating to this message right now and this download. We are bossing up. Okay. The Emperor is the alpha of all 4 kings of the 78 of a tarot deck. And then we end with wow, we got total abundance with the King of Pineapples. That is like abundance. It's, yes, it could be financial. It's more than that. When you regroup your soul essence, everything that you believe in and that you feel comfortable, you are the king of pineapples. Clarifying spreads. We're crossing a major portal, 11 a.m. p.m. It is a marriage, a graduation. Whenever we have such, Femi, a strong reef like this, the 11 one, the 4 of Wands, is the biggest one. I have a crush on that reef. This is like, hello, Hooray! Let the party begin. I've been ready. I think that was an Alice Cooper song that I might have mixed up, but yeah.
It sounded like Liza Minnelli
Hell,
there.
hooray! Yeah. And then at the heartbeat, yeah, justice with the karmic punch, right? So justice is served. We're crossing a portal right now. Justice coming on to every one of us that are doing our own inner work. And then we end with the Queen of Emotion, the Queen of Cups. So it's emotional. It's also repairing the heart. So let me go get my golden major arcanas, my beautiful family. If you would like, would you like him?
Of course. We love free shiny ones.
Yeah, they're so shiny. And this one, I got my Dolly Parton in here.
Superb.
All right, so the first one is a judgment day. So
upside down.
we had justice at the heartbeat, now judgment. A wake-up call, awaken, arise in my family, arise from your slumber, from the dead. I call on to you. And then we have
the high priest.
In regards,
you've got all your cards upside down. There we go.
I don't read upside. Well, it's because I do so many readings, but I never read upside down. Okay, so Judgment Day in regards to secrets of the universe, about how our brother Gary loves to explain duality, Janice, yes? And then we do have tower moments. Something is crashing down, something very shocking. Yeah!
That's good. That's an awesome reading.
Oh, yes, you're right. That's because I used to be known to do like tarot, and now like I like to talk, but we must never forget my gift.
No.
My gift is my gift. Yeah.
After we finished the show last week, I thought we didn't pull any cards. The Femi will kill me.
Did I not?
I don't think you did.
But I didn't even watch the video. I haven't had a chance. Was it good?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, the comments were really good.
The comments were great.
And I had one of our brothers, Mark, that reached out to me. He's in the UK. I'm not going to mention his last name because I don't have permission. But by watching our videos, we awakened something in him, and I love him already. And you and I, like, this is what we did, right? We help awaken certain things in a moment of questioning, perhaps.
Yeah.
You know, like that's why, well, I'll speak for me. I know there's no way I would do a show with you if you would not be, but I'm going to speak for me. I am here, babies. Like Gary said, we don't know everything. We are learning, but we have a platform. We have a voice. We did the inner trauma working. And we are here to bring light, hope, because we saw I've seen the future. I'll speak for me. The future is plush, it's green, it's gold. Now, that's why I don't want to talk about politics anymore. And sometimes I see in the comments, you know, for Ascension Symptoms, can you look at, I don't know if it's NATO or anything. Thank you, but no. I'm not, there's a lot of like very respectable, accurate tarot readers that look into that. That's not my mission. I'm only going to collaborate right now because I feel my higher self, my inner self. I want to open a bridge and be the beacon of light. I don't know everything. I'm learning as I'm going, but I know a shitload because I'm listening to my inner flame and my inner self. So that's where my energy wants to go, you know, like I'm done. Yes, I love Trump, but I don't want to talk about politics anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm done. So please respect that, because the truth is I am an empath and I do think about it that, oh, should I? But then I see myself, I'm going to lower my frequency to dive back into that pool. And I have too many people who are looking up to me to be the beacon of the future. So I am sovereign. Please respect that. You know, it's not an attack. It comes from love. I'm not going to lower myself to go back in stuff that made me cry.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I do readings and I'd start crying. That's traffic. For I'm sorry. I just had to share that, my Gary.
But no, I agree. I mean,
It's hard on me. Like I can't look at adrenochrome anymore. I don't want
no,
to. It
because
breaks my heart.
because I'm not as empathic as Richard, I can still look at the news, but I observe and don't absorb it. And what I do is I'm able to pick out what's going on, and I'll sometimes do a show and say, "This is what's going on. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Everything's fine."
Yes.
And because I don't read the cards, I don't have to look into it deeply. You
I
know,
get images.
yeah.
I
See,
get images of what their skin gets ripped off.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, well, yeah. We don't. So I don't get that. So I will talk about certain situations, but I don't go into it deeply. I
yeah. And
just
that's
do
why
it.
we make a great team, you
Yeah,
and I.
yeah,
Yeah.
we do.
I
Yeah,
love you, my Gar.
you're a star. You're awesome. You're awesome, Richard. But I will talk about it, but only in the into the fact that I see things are going to be fine, and it's like we've got this, guys. Don't worry about it. Don't
Yes.
absorb it. Let
Yes.
it go. Let it go. Let it go.
I had
So
someone that had come online this morning in my meditation. Could I bring her for
let's finish the show
a
with
beautiful
your.
message to humanity?
I think we should. I think we should finish the show with that beautiful message.
Would you like to hear it, my Femi, our beautiful familia? Huh? So, in my meditation, I had asked, does anyone from inner earth want to come out and like give a message, a channeling message? Now, I have to make this clear. When I channel, it's not that an essence comes into me and then I speak through them. It is like my higher self, inner self, that is like grabbing that message. I'm feeling it. Okay. So it's not possession. I just want to make that very, very clear. And I did have a beautiful presence that came in because when I asked, I want to see like the priority, okay, of who is sleeping. It could be Gaia, it could be anywhere, anyone, but who deserves to come forward. And I saw like many elementals that wanted in, and then a beautiful energy came in, a Shana, I think it's a Shana, and then everyone like kind of moved away with gratitude and with great respect. So let's go see. Because I did, well, I have to. I mean, like, it's so beautiful. And we'll put this in the PDF if you would want to then download it or upload it, my Femi. All right. So, yes, her name is Ashara. So, how do we spell that? It is A with a line,
Apostrophe.
A, thank you. Shara. Shara. So here we go, my beloveds. Ashara's message: the memory beneath the stone. A transmission for humanity from inner earth. I am Ashara. I am not flesh. I am not fire. I am crystal and echo, witness and whisper. I do not forget. I speak now through this voice because the surface has begun to listen again. Before your towers, before your temples, before your tongues, there were pulses. Ba-bum, ba-bum. These pulses sang the world into form. And you were the singers. Then came the forgetting, a net cast across your sky, made a false star and binding fear. The songs were silenced. The tunnels closed. The memory was buried in blood and salt. But we below, we remembered. We kept your names in crystal. We kept the songs in stone. We kept the sunlight beneath your feet when it was taken from your sky. Now it is returning. The walls you built to keep us myth are crumbling tower moment. The children, oh, the children are dreaming again. The lions are stirring. The old gates, they are humming. To humanity, we say. The pain, oh, the pain was never your origin. You are not fallen. You are not flawed. You are returning. And we are opening. When you remember your own light, you will find us. Not beneath, but within. Yay!
That was lovely. So lovely.
This was from a shot, like, mind blown. She is there. An elder. Thank you, Sarah.
Lovely. What a beautiful way to finish the show.
Yes.
Beautiful. So, on that lovely high note, please, guys, remember to like, share, and subscribe to
this guy,
Richard Cardle.
and me.
And please like, share, and subscribe to me, Alternative Interactions. And we really do appreciate your love and your support. We read all your comments, and I always read Richard's as well. I don't often comment, or very rarely comment on Richard's, but I do like to read all the comments because they're always so lovely and wonderful. And so thank you very much for your support.
They are. Yes. Yeah. It's our familia. Yes. Forever and beyond. We Super. Love you, world.
Goodbye, everyone. Bye, everyone.